Hey traders, welcome back to another daily profit and loss recap video. Today is Thursday, August 31st. I just finished up trading for the morning and I locked in $863 in profits. I had two trades. One of them was a solid winning trade and one of them was a small losing trade. And in this video, we're going to break down these trades, talk about my entry points, my exit points, as well as my overall thought process behind the trades so that hopefully you can take something from my trading and apply it to your own. Now, very quickly, I apologize for not being able to post a video yesterday. I had some things to take care of outside of the market, but I had only one quick trade, and that was posted about in the Market Master group, and that was simply the continuation in PDD. The previous day, it had this solid gap and go from their earnings report release, strong volume, relatively strong close, and for that reason, I was looking for a continuation on yesterday, which was Wednesday. Took a small position as it was pushing up into that previous day high, and then I locked in some profits up into those new highs. Very simple trade, locked in a few $100s in profits, and that was all I was able to do for the day. Okay, but moving on to today, the first trade that I placed was with the stock Acer. Acer was gapping up this morning in pre-market, naturally making it a potential gap and go. If we take a look over here at the Market Master group, we can see that things were starting to pick up a bit in the pre-market session today when compared to the previous couple of weeks. We had some solid gap ups, 83%, 51%, 47%, 42%, and so on and so forth, which is pretty solid compared to, only having a few stocks that are up maybe 20 or 30% in pre-market like we have over the past few weeks. So with that being said, we had quite a few stocks on the watch list this morning for the opening range breakout trades: Acer, IFBD, NCNC, ICCT, SATX, and TIO. So you're probably wondering why I was so focused on Acer and why I avoided all of these other trades. And the reason for that is simply because Acer was the only one that had a solid opening range breakout. All of the other ones didn't break through their opening range breakout level, or if they did, there was weak relative volume and there was no follow through on that trade. So with Acer, I posted at about 9:40 this morning that Acer was recovering nicely from the opening pullback, maybe a dip and rip setup here if it can start breaking above that opening range. So once I saw the volume that was coming in into this push up through the VWAP and up into that opening range, I immediately took a position into that breakout. And then once it held on to those gains and started pushing up higher, I added some more shares into this position, ended up with a total of 4,000 shares. My average cost was right at about $1.17. And as far as exiting and locking in profits, as you guys probably know by now, the way that I like to do this is to look for key levels on the chart and then lock in my profits into those key levels, typically being a level of resistance. In this case, we had the pre-market high up here, which was $1.29. I locked in some profits after that first trading halt resumed at $1.31, I believe. And then we get this nice push up into the 160s. However, if we take a look down here at the daily chart, we can see that there was a big gap on the daily chart from about 117 or so up to $1.55. So a lot of times what we'll see happen is once a stock fills a gap, that gap fill level is going to turn into a bit of resistance. And more often than not, we'll start to see the stock reverse from that level, which is known as a gap close reversal. So with all of that being said, I placed an order to lock in the rest of my profits up in the 150s, just under that gap close reversal level. And I got filled on this move here and locked in a total of $1,158 in profits on that trade. Before moving on to the second trade for me today, I want to give a few quick shout outs from some traders in the Market Master group. Goku Chan locked in $303 in profits on this Acer trade as well. We also had some profits from Kane, who met their daily goal on Acer. And I also want to give a quick shout out to the winner of our $727 giveaway. We can see we had a random winner selected yesterday, which ended up being Trading Trucker 12. So shout out to him. The $727 was sent directly to his PayPal. And thanks for everyone that participated in this giveaway. Don't worry, we're going to be doing more in the future, so stay tuned for those. And if you're not already in the group and you want to be able to enter into these giveaways, there's going to be a link down below in the description for you to get signed up and for you to join us in the group. All right, all of that being said, let's move on to my second trade for today. This ended up being a small losing trade, but if we look down here at the daily chart, this was a pretty solid setup, and it was definitely a trade that was worth taking in my opinion. We can see that on the daily chart. A couple days ago, we had this big spike up from the mid-10s up to around $14 per share. This is in the stock MARA. This is a Bitcoin or crypto-related stock, and pretty much the entire sector had a strong bullish move on that day. And if we take a look at yesterday's price action, we can see it had a big pullback down to the mid-12s, but it was able to recover really strongly from that pullback and close all the way up near the high of day, setting it up for an inside bar breakout today, which is why I ended up buying into this trade. So I was taking a position in this as it was pushing through that inside bar breakout level, which was the high of the previous day at $13.54. My position was pretty small of just 500 shares in the 1370s, and I was looking for a breakout up into the 14s and up into that $15 area ideally. But as we can see from the intraday chart here, the $13.90 level just turned into a bit of resistance. Every time it spiked up into that area this morning, it ended up rejecting it. So at this final rejection, it finally ended up fading back down to my risk level, which was just underneath these morning lows, and I was forced to cut losses on the trade. Thankfully, it ended up being a small loss. It was $194. And the reason for that is simply because this was a relatively small position. Keeping your losses small is crucial, and one of the best ways to do that is to only add into your positions if that position is working in your favor. So with MARA, there was no solid setup here to add some shares into, and it ended up just being a very small position and a very small loss. So that brought my overall profits for the day down to $863, but still a very solid day, and I'm happy to see the small cap market starting to pick back up a bit. Anyway, with all of that being said, thank you for watching this video. I hope you found some value in it, and if you did, please make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you want to hear about these stocks that I'm trading in real time, as well as work with our team of traders, get access to our day trade and swing trade alerts, our detailed trade plans, our live custom scanner streams, and so on and so forth, all of that can be found in the Market Master group. There's going to be a link down below in the description for you to get signed up. Thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and good luck with your trading.